guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Kart Smart TV. Today we're going to be working on a Club Car DS. It's going to be a gas model. Got a little funny thing going on with it. Pretty sure I know at least what two of the problems are. Might be the only problems, but it is a problem. When I push the accelerator pedal, gotta put it in maintenance mode. Sometimes I forget that. Put it in maintenance mode, then push the pedal. You can hear that solenoid click. Good way to test to see what's going on here is making sure you got proper battery voltage, 12.3 to 12.9. Good battery. I've got 12.5 in there. I did check that before I started making the video. Making sure the solenoid works, which it is doing so because you can hear it clicking. Okay, so to check to see if the starter generator is getting voltage as it's supposed to, you can use your meter like this for sure. Generally, you're going to want to get you a gator clip in that you can put on your probes, and so you're going to go to the negative of the battery. Alright, and then on your starter generator, your white wire from the solenoid that's providing the 12 volts in, you're going to put your meter on the 200 scale of voltage. You're going to take your lead and you're going to put it to the terminal on the white wire right here, like so. Get it right there. Okay, and then you're going to push the gas pedal. And when that solenoid activates, it should throw 12 volts right there. There you go. So every time it activates, it's throwing 12 volts to that starter generator. So now we know that we're getting power to the starter generator. Doesn't necessarily mean that the starter generator is bad because it's not spinning. The best way to test that I have found is if it's a starter generator problem. And in the club car world, most of the time I'm only having to change the brushes in it because they just get wore out to the point where they don't make good contact anymore. But to see if that's the case here, all you gotta do is take and push your clutch just a little bit. There you go. So you can see as now I got it rotated. Let's see if it'll do it again. Alright, so it's definitely turning over. Okay. There it is. A lot of times that's not necessarily a brush problem right there. That's a spot on the armature that the brush is not making contact with. So it could be as very simple as getting the starter generator out of this golf cart, getting it over to your workbench in this side. That's where your brushes are held, is inside this far side of the generator right here. And so you're going to get this taken apart off the end, and you're going to take a wire brush and go over the armature real good. I'm going to get this starter generator off this cart, and we're going to get it over here to the bench, tear it apart, get it cleaned up, put it back together with new brushes in it. Alright guys, so you can see I got the end cap off of this starter. And that's simple as getting your brushes out of their holder, all four of them, so they'll let go of the armature. And then you have your looper cable here that you got to take off of your brush assembly, and then you'll just get the two bolts that are in these holes right here, them out, and this will come right off. Compressed air that out good. Now, I have run the wire brush on this just a little bit, but as you can see, that's kind of dirty there. So I'll roll it over and you can see where I've already put the wire brush to it and clean this surface off. It's nice and copper looking again. Compared to the dark brown black side there. Get that cleaned off. But I have noticed that, and you can see that edge right there, that edge is pretty worn down. I wouldn't say that taking a file to that would do any justice here. You're going to have to take away too much armature to actually get it back true again. Take a chance in it not connecting. I mean, in this case, I would recommend a new starter generator for this customer, just so it alleviates this problem ever happening, or at least happening for a long time. But you can see how I've cleaned this off. If it was if this was the first time you was having to do this, wouldn't be a big deal, because I doubt it would be that grooved up here. So yeah, if it's the first time you've need to change brushes in your starter generator, you could certainly smooth this back out if this gouge isn't that bad. Like I said, you just take a fine tooth file and just hook your drill up to the end of this and kind of just slowly rotate it while you're holding the file there to just smooth it back out. That's the only thing you'd be doing there. And like I said, this one's just too wore down for me to try to do that again. So yeah, I think I'm going to recommend a starter generator for this customer. So customer asked me if I would try to do the cleanup on the armature and put some new brushes in it and see what happened. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, but like I mentioned earlier, that armature really concerns me of how worn out it is. It could certainly wear out these new brushes if it didn't clean up as good as I wanted to. Maybe knock some of the armature's burrs off to stop eating away at the brushes so bad. But after got the key switch on up. Firing right up. So I mean, it's every single time showing you the same thing before the repair. It would almost have a hard drag on it before it would start going. In fact, there's no drag in that starter whatsoever. You can see how fast it picks up and starts the engine. One more time. Fires up and runs perfectly every single time now. Take it out of mechanics mode and get it ready to go. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully this will help somebody out if they're having some troubles with starter generator or potential not firing issue. That's the simplest of the not firing issues I think I've ever had to deal with. But you could have your limit box, a coil failure, a RPM limit box failure, a bare wire touching the engine somewhere where it's not supposed to, micro switch that's gone bad. It's a few things there that could cause it not to fire. But this is one of those simple ones. I'm thankful that it was for customer's sake. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, get that notification bell so that you'll catch all these videos that we're putting out. And as always guys, hit that subscribe button.